What is up, YouTube? Home Slice back with another review. I am Travis.
I'm Brad.
Is Brad. We are here to review two fine putters in the game. Mine is the DD Warden. Yes, scented plastic.
And the Innova Aviar. We've got ourselves a comparison.
Whoa. Enjoy.
The Warden and the Aviar. They are very similar in the hand. The only real difference is right on this edge here. It's a little bit sharper. You can kind of tell there. The Warden's just more rounded. It feels a little bit better in the hand. They're both pretty flat, no bead, but I like the Warden a little bit better in my hand.
The Innova Aviar, great feeling putter, as everyone's probably thrown one or felt one at least. Great off the tee, throws really nice. It's a lot faster than I thought. This got out there really quickly. Reliable fade. Throw it into a headwind, it might flip a little bit. This yellow one, I will say, is a little bit more beat in, so it would flip up a little bit and then fade. So when you work them in, they're even more versatile. So on an anhyzer, you can really get it to turn. Sometimes it wouldn't come out, sometimes it would, depending on the wind, depending on how much of a pull I got. So you can really rely on this. I mean, you've seen I can get 350 to 400 sometimes, so it controls some pretty good power. Forehand, finesse it. It came out really clean, was comfortable in my hand. Putting the Aviar, it's a very straight putter, a lot straighter than I thought. When I got pretty far out there, it was still very straight from 35 feet. The DD Warden, that was fluid plastic. It's a wee bit more stable, great flying disc, great in the hand. Feels pretty similar to the Aviar. I'd say a little bit slower in the hand. It's not as sharp. Good clean release, stable, somewhat stable. You throw it into a headwind, it will turn, but it's that perfect throwing putter like the Aviar. That one was an anhyzer, it just kept going. Throw it flat, it's just going to ride flat for 300 feet and then slowly fade. Just a great all-around disc. It's got a good bit of glide like the Aviar. Forehand, hyzer flip to flat, just rides. You could see it actually turned a little bit, but other than that, really good clean releases just like the Aviar. Putting wise, straight. I putt with a judge, so this is just a judge without a bead. It's great straight flight.
All right, the Aviar was very straight for me. A little bit of fade at the end. I was getting it out, I'd say, like on a good throw around 325-ish. But if you put it on an ante, you can see there it held it, and then it started to flatten out at the very end. On a hyzer, I wasn't getting it to flip up. It just rode that hyzer the whole way. When I threw it flat, it just was real straight, and then hyzered out at the end. As far as a putter, it was very similar to the Warden, which is very straight. Little bit of fade at the end, but as a spin putter, you don't really get that as much until you get out to some further distances. The Warden was very similar in flight to the Aviar. It seemed to be a little bit more glidey though. It's getting it out a little bit further than the Aviar, but the flights were almost identical. Thrown flat, it would just go pretty straight for me and fade out at the end. If I threw it on that ante, that one just held it the whole way. The yellow one is a little bit more beat, and the fluid is a little bit more stable. So if you throw that fluid on an ante, it would flatten out a little bit at the end. On a hyzer, it just rides that hyzer the whole way. As a putter, it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be very similar to the Aviar. So really straight, especially for a spin putt. And the further you get out, you will have to compensate a little bit for the fade, but it's a very straight putter. What's up, y'all? It's recap time. How'd you like the Aviar and the Warden?
I liked them both. Both felt great in the hand. These two were super close for me. The Aviar, it felt not as good in a putting grip. My fan grip, it didn't feel quite as good as the Warden did, so I went with the Warden. It feels better in my hand. It sticks to my hand. When I grab it, you know when you grab a disc and it like molds perfectly to your hand? That's how the Warden felt. I'm not dogging on the Aviar at all. It flew so great. Everyone's hands are different, so if you pick an Aviar, I don't blame you because there's this pretty much exact flight.
Yeah, the flights were very similar. Like I said, the only thing that I liked a little bit better was the glide of the Warden. But I also went with the Warden. That's what I putt with, and I like it because you can rip on them and they're not going to really turn over. So I can use it as my driving putter and my putting putter. And Preston has them on all the different scents, and they smell terrific. This is blueberry. You can smell it through the camera.
If you guys don't have a putter like this and you're looking for a putter, go with one or the other because these are such awesome discs for driving and putting. That's important. You lose a mold out of your bag because I right now have a putting putter and a throwing putter. It just adds a new variable. You know, it makes me think a little bit more on the course. Whereas if I'm like Brad, who throws the Warden, it's easier for him to make a decision because this is his putting putter and throwing putter. So if you can and you're looking for a new putter that's straight, pick
the Warden or the Aviar, whatever feels better in your hand. Both great options. Like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.